Good day, Dean Waves back here. Wanted to go ahead and shoot another video. Since I just filmed a pickup video, I want to go ahead and do another one. Not a pickups video, but while it's still fresh in my brain, I did something a little weird. As several of you know, if you're not new to my channel, earlier this summer, I completed Dragon Warrior for the NES, and then I started Dragon Warrior 2 for the NES, and in one of my last pickup videos I showed you this game for the Game Boy Color, Dragon Warrior 1 and 2. I just got this a couple weeks ago. I decided that just for the sake of continuity that I was going to stop playing Dragon Warrior 2 for the NES, and I was going to go ahead and play through Dragon Warrior 1 again on the Game Boy. So I did, just so I could compare them a little bit. And I wanted to go ahead and talk about just a couple things, and I'm sure there's other videos out there where people are talking about the comparison. And I just think it's such a good game that it really deserves to be talked about, so I'm going to do it. Dragon Warrior 1, also known as Dragon Quest, very good game, made by Square Enix, and it's just, I don't know, something about it is just so charming to me. It's such a simple RPG, straightforward. I mean, there's next to no story, as most of you already know. But it's such a good turn-based RPG, and I really like it. And the Redux, I believe I've talked to Dustin Christ about this a little bit. I'm pretty sure that this is the excuse me, the same as the port of Dragon Quest 1 and 2 for the Super Famicom, I believe. And it's a lot better graphically, and I really like this. The maps are smaller. They kind of had to be. The overworld is smaller. It really had to be to fit on the Game Boy and to be like playable. It couldn't be the same size, so they had to squish it down a little bit. And in doing so, everything is still there. All the towns are still there. The landscape is virtually unchanged. It's just a little bit smaller, and all the items are basically in the same places, and yeah, I mean the gameplay is identical. The screen looks a little different, and some of the things are a little bit. You don't have to go to excuse me, that menu to open doors and to use keys and to go up and down stairs. Now you don't have to do that anymore, which is nice. And the one thing that bothered me is that the names of the monsters changed, and the only reason I noticed it so much was because I played them so close together. I played the original on the NES and the Game Boy port like a couple of months, apart. So I mean, the names were still really fresh in my mind, and also the names of the characters changed. It was no longer Erdrick, and who was your ancestor, and you were no longer searching for Princess Gwaelin. You are now the descendant of Loto, and you are now searching for Princess Laura. I think it was what it was. I can't remember. It's either Laura or I think it's Laura. I just ignored it, really. I thought of her as Princess Gwaelin because that's what I was used to. That bothered me a little bit, but that's so it doesn't matter at all. Slime is still a slime, but it's no longer a poltergeist, or it's no longer a ghost. It's now a spooky, which I thought was interesting, and some of the others changed too. But once again, not a big deal. I'm just making a lot bigger deal out of it than it really is. What I did like as most of you know if you know anything about this port, is that you level up a lot faster. You get more experience and more gold per monster than you did before. So you get gold faster, and you get levels faster. So you get gold faster, so you get better weapons faster, so you kill faster, so you gain levels and get more gold faster. So it's just, it runs a lot quicker. I actually played a majority of the game last night. I had been playing it off and on a little bit. You know, I got to like level 8, and I kind of put it down for a couple of weeks. I was doing other things. And yeah, I just was in the mood to play it last night, and I stuck it on the Game Boy player on my GameCube. And I played the Ev-11 out of it last night. I played for like 5 hours, and I like beat the game. I got to level 19, and I had all the weapons and armor and everything that I needed. And I was in the Dragon Lord, or the Draco Lord is what it's called on here, Draco Lord's castle. Basically just waiting to go fight him. So this evening I was at my niece's piano lesson, and I was sitting in the car waiting for her to get done, and I played it and beat it. You know, no big deal. So it's actually quite a bit easier than the NES version. Now what I will say is if you are a fan, if you haven't played the series and you're a fan of old school RPGs and the NES, you should definitely play the original first, in my opinion. You should play this version first, and it won't cost you much. Seriously, this will cost you like $4 or $5, maybe $6 shipped to your house. You know, this game is so cheap. And this one, the Game Boy one, cost me about $12, so it's really not bad either. And it's, I don't know, I'm stuck on the first one because I love the NES so much. And that's what I will say also. If you don't like the NES, but you are interested in playing the game and you can stand to play the Game Boy version, please do it, because it's such a good game. Now, what I will say, I played it on 2 different ways. I played it on my Game Boy Advance SP and on my Game Boy player on my GameCube. And I actually hate it on the Game Boy. I don't know why. The colors, maybe it's just because my SP's messed up or something. I don't know. I thought that the colors were kind of dull on the SP, and I stuck it in the Game Boy player on my GameCube last night, and I was actually blown away at how awesome it looked on the TV. Seriously, like, it was so much better than it was on the Game Boy screen. Not just because of size, not just because of the size of the screen. Like, the colors were just awesome. I couldn't believe it, how awesome it looked. And but once again, I believe that this is the same port virtually as it was on the Super Famicom. So of course the colors are a lot better, and it's not quite 16-bit graphics. You know, not quite 8-bit. You know, it's somewhere in between there. You know, it is. You know, it's for the 16-bit system. You know, but it's on a Game Boy. So yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot else to say. I really like this, and if you are going to play this version, I would play it on your TV. I would play it in the Game Boy player on the GameCube or Super Game Boy. I actually don't know how it looks on the Super Game Boy. I didn't try it out, but I really like the GameCube controller. I have a very, I don't know, I just love that controller a lot. And yeah, so that's Dragon Warrior 1, and I plan on doing the same thing for Dragon Warrior 2. I really would like to play both. I would like to go ahead and play it on here, on the NES, play it through and complete it, and I'll do a video then. And then I also want to play it through on the Game Boy, complete it, and do a video then. I'm not sure which one I want to play first. I feel like I should play this one first and then move on to the Dragon Warrior 2, just for the sake of, you know, playing the original and then playing the remake. But I also think that I'm more likely to go back and play this one if I play it on here when it's just a little bit easier, and I can also take it on the go with me in my Game Boy and play it in some downtime and not always have to be up here in my game room playing on the NES. So yeah, that's an update to my Dragon Warrior Quest, and I also have on tap Dragon Warrior 3, as you all know. And if you did watch my last video where I bought these games, you will also know that I did buy Dragon Warrior 3 for the Game Boy Color as well. So when I complete my Dragon Warrior 2, I'm going to complete Dragon Warrior 3. So that's just kind of a cool idea for a series that I had on my channel, and I hope that you all stick around with me. And please be patient with me because these are kind of lengthy games. And I am still seeking a copy of Dragon Warrior 4 for the NES, and I'm also looking for the port for the DS. And so I also plan on doing that with Dragon Warrior 4 as well. I plan on playing the NES version and the DS version and comparing them for you and giving you my opinion on the games, on these really great RPGs. So, thanks for watching. Doom Waves out.